What's going on, everybody? Next video I'm gonna make, so it's kind of funny. I went on YouTube, I got a new shock for my bike. It's not really a new shock, so what I did was I ordered a used shock off eBay, had less than 1,000 miles. It was off another 22. Sent it to DMR Suspension Works, and for $350, the shock cost me $100. They revalved the shock, put a new spring on it set to my weight. And it's basically like putting a brand new shock on the bike. So, I recommend everybody doing this to their bikes. If you have a sport bike, you would get so much more out of the bike if you actually had a suspension that was tuned to you and not just simply set. The way bikes come from the factory, I remember most of these bikes are coming from Europe. From what I've read, a lot of these bikes, or most all of the bikes, are sprung for a single rider weighing in at roughly 140 to 160 pounds. Yeah, there's people out there that fit that, but I'd say there's probably just as many that don't fit that. And then you put a 2-up person on it, and it's a totally different bike. It makes it almost just not even fun to bring it in the turns and everything. So I picked up the shock, and I started searching on YouTube for a video on how to do it, put the rear shock in. And there's nothing out there. There's videos that will give you a basic guide, remove the bolts and everything else, but there's nothing really that actually shows you how to do it and what to do. So I figured I'd come on here today, and I'm gonna make my own video, so hopefully it'll help some people. I'm gonna shoot the video over the course of probably today and tomorrow. It should probably, I'm guesstimating, probably is gonna take me about 3 to 4 hours to do this. No, I'm not going to make a 3 to 4 hour video. I'll stop it and go. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking it's something I can do to myself. Not to myself, duh. I can do it myself. I have my lift, so that'll help me out a lot. Guys, I want to just say something. So I bought this lift from Harbor Freight for $450. So far, I have bad knees. I definitely can't get down on the ground to work on my bike like that, and honestly, anybody that works on a motorcycle, I would be willing to bet, doesn't want to get on the ground like that. So $450 to buy this jack, and I can tell you, just the exhaust alone, every place wanted $400 to do my exhaust. So literally, just putting the exhaust on the bike saved me the cost of the jack. A couple places I called to install this shock, they want between $400 and $600. They're unsure of how much because they've never done it on a Gen 2 Hayabusa before, so they don't know what's involved. But they told me a minimum of $400. Put the power commander in myself. Most places want to charge me $100 to do that. I did my first service on the bike. It was pretty much just downloading my manual, getting all the torque settings for the bolts, jacking it up, and saved myself another $300. So after the shock is done, you're talking, I've already saved $1,200 in labor off of a $450 lift. And let me tell you something, I know there's a lot of you out there that are gonna say you probably don't have room for a lift. If you can park your bike in the garage, you have room for a lift, because I'll tell you, as much as I don't like it, my wife shares my garage with me. She hangs out here, and I shouldn't say I don't like it, I do like it, but she didn't used to do that before, so I try to be a little bit more conscious of the space. So honestly, when I bring my bike in, I park it on the lift. I just put the rear wheel stand, I'm gonna put it on a rear wheel stand anyway, so I just put it on the lift, and it's literally takes up no more space than just having the regular motorcycle. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting something like this. In case you guys haven't seen it, it is literally just a very simple hydraulic foot pumps, Harbor Freight. If I remember right, I got it when they were having a sale. It was I think it normally sells for $550, or maybe it was $599, and then they were doing when I bought it, they were doing a Memorial weekend sale. So I ended up picking it up for $100 off, and then I signed up for their credit card and got another 20% off. And so yeah, it was just it was an incredibly good deal. And then once I pay it off, because I got like no interest. You know, they're BS promos that all these companies do. Once I pay that off, I think I have like $100 left on it. They sell a trailer too for motorcycles, and it's like $550. It folds up, so I can literally store it in my garage, and I don't got to worry about it. So if you guys are into motorcycling the way I am, it's just something to definitely look into. All right, so swapping out the shock. So first thing I did, I was having trouble trying to figure out how to suspend the bike once I take it off the rear wheel stand. So the first thing I did, I went down to, for me locally, Rural King, and I bought a 5/8 by 36-inch steel rod. And this rod's pretty damn strong. You know, I'm 275 pounds. I stood on it and it didn't even budge. So I'm literally putting it right through the middle of the steering eccentric with some jack stands. And well, I haven't done it yet. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see if let's see if I'm gonna ruin a $20,000 bike, or if I'm a genius and I just figured out how to suspend the back of the bike without worrying about the rear wheel stand. All right, let's start. All right, guys, first things first, I'm gonna drop the bike down, take it off the rear stand, and make sure that rod is even going to work before I even start doing this. Throughout the time doing it, I'm not going to keep it suspended on this rod. I'm going to put it back on the rear wheel stand and unloosen everything, loosen the bolts until I'm actually ready to pull the bolts out. I want to keep the weight on this rod as little as possible, but before I even do that, I'm going to, like I said, drop it and make sure it's even going to work. So let's get started. Drop the camera down here. Hopefully, let's try to get it so you guys can see if it's gonna work. All right. I gotta admit, it's a little nerve-wracking. Nice. Seems pretty stable. Good deal. Good deal. Now let's see if I can get it back on the rear wheel stand. Pretty nice. All right, good deal. All right, get this back up here. And now I will start taking it apart. So I know the seat's got to come off. Pretty sure the gas tank's got to come off, and then the tray holding the computer stuff is going to come off. So I'm going to pause it and do all that stuff. I don't think you guys really need an instructional video on how to take the seat and all that crap off. Crap, I just realized I hope I can do it without taking all the plastic off. I didn't even think about that. Crap. I don't want to have to do that. Let's see if I can get it to work. Alright, so don't have to take the plastic off. I just had to pop this screw out basically so I can pull that apart. Now, I hope you guys can see that. I'm hoping that is a quick disconnect that stops gas from flowing out. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out because I wasn't thinking and I completely filled the gas tank up the other day. And then looks like that plug and then 4 screws and it should come out, and I may not have to take the compartment tray out. So let's start doing that. Okay, gas tank is off. That was a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be, strictly due to these 2 vent hoses. They were both a pain in the butt to get off. So I think now at this point, once I get those screws undone, those nuts, I'm thinking worst case scenario, I may have to take this off, but the shock should come right out. This is attached to the back of the gas tank. That is your, I believe that's your 6-point computer that does all your lean angle, all your other good stuff. And these are some nuts and some spacers I dropped in there. So just be careful you don't lose anything when you're doing this. Yeah. All right, I'll get back to you. All right. Had to remove this top race up here. Already got the bolt removed. You see I'm mounted on my pegs. This is working out pretty damn nice, guys. Now I gotta release it from the bottom. I'm gonna jack the bike up and it should be easy from there. All right, original shock is out, guys. So to get the shock out, I should have filmed this, but you literally have to push the shock down, pull it out of that little holder where it bolts into, and then shift the shock this way, and then it comes right out. All right, this is where we're at. Shock is in, it's not mounted yet. Bottom bolt is in, same thing, not screwed down yet. I just got to find out the torque steps. I had to use a rubber mallet to tap it in to find its way. And then the other thing I used was a ball joint puller to get it under the back tire and be able to lift the back tire up to align it correctly. But so far so good, guys. I'm pretty psyched, man. $400 to $600 they wanted to do this. So we're getting there. Alright, so where we're at now, bolts are torqued in, top bolt. I used some Loctite. Manual didn't call for Loctite, but I did anyway. 66.5 pounds of foot-pounds of torque. And we're just about ready to go. Start assembling everything else back up. Alright guys, so I just had a ball sack of a time. I dropped a couple of screws on the engine, so it was difficult getting them out. Let me just show you what I did real quick. Hopefully it'll save you guys some extra effort. So these screws that hold the tank on, 2 of them dropped onto the engine compartment, and literally it took me a while to get them back on. So I'm about to hook the battery back up, make sure I didn't miss any of the fuel lines. Hopefully I won't have, sorry guys, it's hard to hold this while I'm doing it at the same time. Let me pause you. Alright, battery hooked back up. Let's go for a cold start. This way, hopefully I hook the tank back up correctly. Still haven't turned my service light off yet. Good deal. Let's do. Well, there you have it, guys. Rear shock installed, ready to go. Just got to put my seat back on in the front tank, and we are good to go. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully, it helped some of you guys if you're going to decide to change your rear shock. Made it a little bit easier for you guys. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. I saved myself about $400 to $500. Let's call it 500. They told me between 4 and 6, and total working time took me 2 hours. So that's kind of, look, I get mechanics got to make their money and everything, but if it took me, let's call it 2.5. If it took me 2.5 hours, and I'm just some guy in his garage, I would think these guys could knock it out in 2 hours easily. So I think $400 to $600 for a job like that is a little silly. So hopefully this motivates some of you guys to get your own lift and do the work yourselves, guys. Learn your bike. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit subscribe.